Okay, how we looking? Did it load properly? It's looking like no wait, it's a yes, but for some reason, I don't know. I'm looking at my stream, and it's showing a black screen. I look at OBS, and it is showing what I want it to be showing. Oh, wait, there it is. Some delay. Okay. Okay, I actually can see my cursor this time. Last time I was doing this, I couldn't. Be a shame if we forgot about each other, don't you think? Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here? It's as simple as that. Is this seat taken? Sometimes I feel like... Yeah, I did actually start this in a previous stream, but like I very quickly realized that I wasn't up for streaming at the time. So I don't really feel like rereading this stuff. But I'll leave it up on screen longer so that anyone who wants to read it can. Drinking a lot. 2 unfamiliar women, 1 unfamiliar hotel room, probably. No exit, no windows. What the... Excuse me? Your voice rings out behind me so gently it's sending shivers down my spine when you reach names. Looks like I'm not going to have any more time to sort out the situation I found myself in. Not like I could do so either way I turn around. Where am I? I don't know. I find myself in front of a beautiful young woman. She's one of the 2. I saw lying remaining bits. Unlike myself, she doesn't look like she just got up at all, but she did. Some people are just blessed like that, huh? I see. Across a wall adorned by 3 doors, I entered this hall through the one on the left, and it looks like she is the one in the middle. What does that mean? Our main characters. But it feels like Adrian already knew these 2's names. Is that a commentary on the fact that we can see their name tags before they introduce themselves? Or does he actually know that in universe? Well, they did refer to this as a hole. Is there any more doors? Like, that map didn't seem to show more. Okay. Oh yeah, there is that door. Good morning. I hope I've given each of you enough time to wake up and get yourselves accustomed to your whereabouts. Either way, I guess introductions are in order. Sadly, I am not able to give you my proper name. For now, it will have to remain as an empty variable. Null, if you will. Yeah, very inspired by Zero Escape. Instead of zero, it's null. The one thing that I can tell you about myself is the following. Yes, I am the one behind all this. I have trapped each of you in this facility in order to have you participate in an experiment of mine. You don't need to know the details behind it, the purpose of you being here. Instead, simply think of it as a fun little game I have prepared for you. The truth game. The truth of what, you may wonder? Well, for that I will first need to tell you about all the participants in this experiment. What appears to be a map suddenly engulfs my view. Augmented reality. This facility is split into 3 halls. Within each of them, a team of 3 participants resides. 2 of these are so-called answer teams. The one to my right is Answer Team A, or for short, ATA. The other one is Answer Team B. You guessed it, ATB. The remaining people reside in the hall to my left. They are the so-called Question Team. You will need to learn as much as you can about the singular person that will never leave that hall, that neither Answer Team will get the chance to meet for the duration of the game. But that person isn't the only member of the Question Team, of course. There are 2 more, which will be continuously switching between the area of the QT and the area of 180 each. You can think of the entire game as being split into multiple rounds that last 3 hours each. The first 90 minutes of each round are when the ATs will be visited. After that, the QT will reunite for the remaining 90 minutes. That way you will have enough time to ask whatever questions you might have about the secret final participant. Meanwhile, the QT itself will get the opportunity to gather information in the first place. Simple, right? You will need to cooperate in order to come as close to the truth as possible, if you ever want to leave this place, that is. Alright, I will leave it at that for the time being. We can discuss further details another time. For now, please prepare for your visitor, who will make their way over to you shortly. Good luck. The sound of what seems to be an elevator returns, and with that the mastermind sinks back into the ground. For a while we just stand there, stunned. There is so much to process about what we've just heard and seen, I don't even know where to begin. 3 halls, 3 teams, all of the same size. A secret participant that we need to learn the truth about. What for? I can't figure any of this out. And then there are some minor things, like, wonder what kind of person will join us. Everyone interrupts my train of thought. I guess we'll find out soon enough. No point in overthinking a question that will be answered shortly. Whoever they are, they'll stay here for 90 minutes, right? I wonder how long this whole thing is supposed to last, how long we're supposed to stay here. I mean, assuming we're going to get out of this alive in the first place. But don't worry about that. If the person behind this wanted to kill us, I'm sure he wouldn't have left us with a kitchen, a bathroom, well, everything we need to survive. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know whether she seriously believes her own words or if she just wants to keep me from getting even more depressed. Obviously, that guy, Noel, didn't want us to die right off the bat. He asked us to play along with this stupid game after all. Of course we'd be provided with everything we need to survive for the duration of at least that. But that doesn't mean he actually plans to let us out of here by the end of it. Either way, I realize I've been quiet for far too long once more. I decide to fake a relieved smile and reply, "You're right." She seems quiet about my response. I can't tell whether she is naive, kind, or both. I turn back around. At that moment, the sound rises from behind the door. Oh, that must be the person from that other team. We quickly take a few steps back and watch the door as it opens. A middle-aged man enters, casting his eyes about the hall to take in its features or lack thereof. Surprised, this place looks just like the one I came from. Oh, hi. Just the 2 of you? Aren't there supposed to be 3 folks per team? Our last member is currently hiding away in the bathroom. She seems to be in a severe state of panic. Huh, I see. Well, can't blame her. This whole thing is rather crazy. Oliver's the name, by the way. How about you? Adrian. My name is Evelyn. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Well, I'm glad to meet the 2 of you, at least as glad as one can be in a situation like this. You can stop being so formal, though. I'm not that old. You're right. I'm sorry. I will try. Anyway, they both turned to look at me. Great. The goal is to learn about one of the people on your team, right? Can you tell us about whoever that is? Haha, cutting right to the chase, eh? If I didn't ask, everyone surely would have done so instead. I need to... Well, I guess we do have a time limit, don't we? But still, doesn't feel like it'd make much sense to discuss this without the whole group present. He's right, of course. So then, what would you suggest we do now? Good question. Guess we can't really make any progress until we get the chance to properly talk this through, huh? In that case, I suppose I should try talking to her again. Maybe updating her on what we've learned in the meantime will help. Are you sure? You think that will help her calm down? Sounds like a plan, alright. Need any assistance with that? Valerie seemed to know what ATA stood for, and I would not have guessed answer Team A. So I wonder what she thought it stood for. I don't think that will be necessary. I feel like all of us talking to her at once would only lead to stressing her out even further. Why don't the 2 of you sit down in the kitchen in the meantime? I will join you once I'm done, hopefully not on my own. Of course, another one-on-one convo was just what I needed. Alright, sure, in that case, best of luck. I will do my best. Oliver gives me a slight push through the door, and I make my way through the bedroom with him and Evelyn following behind me. Shortly after I entered the kitchen, I still hear Evelyn knocking on the bathroom door before Oliver closes the door behind us. Meanwhile, I'm already busy with looking around the room. Last time I was still under the assumption that this whole situation might just be the aftermath of some party. Now I know for sure that isn't the case. Compared to that rundown hall we were just in, it looks way too welcoming, clean, warm. I don't know, it's almost eerie. The question is, how is such an extreme contrast in appearance possible? Well, I have my suspicions. In order to confirm those, I walk toward the wall of plants. I stretched out my hand to grab one of the large leaves. I can feel the texture of the greenery on my skin, a slight resistance of a physical object when trying to move past it. The further I move my hand, the further the plant is moved, until it can't resist anymore and phases right through my palm back into its original position. I knew it. What are you doing? I turn around and notice that he's already sat down at the table and most likely watched how I played around with a bunch of leaves like some kind of idiot. Oh, nothing. Was just wondering about something. I sit down across from him and wait. Neither of us says anything. I honestly thought he would be more of the talkative type. But after all that commotion so far, I'm just glad to catch a short break. Maybe he sensed that. Well, then I could at least use this occasion to gather my thoughts, think about what I know that could help me with figuring out how we all got here. Wait, I haven't even checked my neural link yet. I try connecting to the net right away, but no dice, figures. Wait, what about my log? Why can't I access it? Huh? My local storage has been wiped completely. Who would do something like that? And how? My head hurts just thinking about it. All those entries gone, just like that. I stored all those memories for years upon years. For what? Fuck it, this isn't the time to wallow in self-pity. The point is, I got a clean log starting with me waking up earlier today and having Evelyn approach me. And I just said today, but now that I check for it, my clock and calendar stopped working as well. They only show the date of December 31st, 9999, with the time stuck at midnight, not progressing any further. I have no idea what time of day it is, and since I can't even remember anything about how we got here, I'm not sure what day it was before all this started either. Hey, I finally decided to speak up. Maybe Oliver remembers more than I do. Do you have any idea why we're here? I barely remember what happened last night at all. Can you recall what you did before all this? Oof, that's a tough one. To be honest, my memories are kind of jumbled up too. I know I was planning to visit a Neuralink center, the one in A3. I think going there was the last thing I can recall, but I can't really tell where the cutoff is, you know? I see. At least it's not just me whose memories are messed up then. A3's Neuralink Center. That's the one her father works at. Huh. Do you remember what day that was? Oh yeah, the person he was trying to forget. 20th of August, a Friday, yeah. That does roughly line up with the things I can still recall. Wait, I just realized, isn't he wearing a wristwatch? Does your watch still work? Huh? Oh, this? Sadly not a watch, at least not by my standards. I woke up with it. He holds out his arm to show the screen of the watch to me. It simply shows the number 79. It's a countdown. It tells me how much longer I will have to stay here before I can go back to my team. Oh, I guess that sounded kind of rude. It's not like being here is any worse than over in the other hall. Would prefer a timer to show me when I can finally go home. Ha. Roughly 10 minutes have passed then. Yeah, makes sense. Damn, none of this brings me any closer towards clearing up why the hell this is happening to us. Why were we abducted? Why are we split up into a bunch of teams to play a game? Why is our goal to figure out who the third member of the question team is? I can't figure it out, none of it. But then again, I'm still waiting to hear anything about that person in the first place. That being any sort of clue is my last hope for now. As if for the sole purpose of ending that wait, the bedroom door swings open. Through it, Evelyn enters with Valerie reluctantly following. Ah, there you are. Valerie, right? Name's Oliver. Huh? Yeah, right. I'm caught up on everything that happened, so let's get to it. Who's in the question team besides you? Haha, yeah, I'm sure you're all eager to find out. Come on, sit down, you two. Evelyn takes a seat next to his, but Valerie just leans against the wall next to the plants. I'm fine. Alright, if you say so. I think It's best if I just tell you about our first interactions over in the other hall. Honestly, I might have hyped this up a bit too much. Please keep your expectations in check. We barely had any time to prepare for this, so there's not even that much I can tell you so far. And beyond that, well, I'll start from the beginning. When I woke up confused about where the heck I had ended up, I first noticed a man in a lab coat who was eagerly studying his surroundings. I asked him who he was and where we were. He didn't know any more than I did, he just woke up too. His name was Nathan. Well, still is, I suppose. Anyway, he's the guy that went over to the other answer team. We quickly decided to check the remaining bed and wake whoever was still asleep. Well, there she was. The secret participant, a young woman, probably around your age. He looks at Evelyn. She was breathing peacefully, completely oblivious to her situation. Long, wavy blonde hair. Eyes were green? Sorry, I'll check. Anyway, a pretty thing she was, definitely, though I guess that's not a thing I should say at my age, haha. Well, I didn't think much of it and was just about to wake her up when Nathan, standing next to me, froze up for a second, going, well, it can't be. He dashed towards her and shook her body, shouting out her name. Amelia, is that you? My body froze the second that name left his tongue. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, it must be, I know it must be, it wouldn't even make sense if it wasn't. But when everything fits so well, it's hard to convince my heart to feel the same. So long story short, she did indeed confirm that her name's Amelia, but it seems she doesn't remember any more than that. From what I can tell so far, we all seem to be struggling with our recent memory. Can all of you confirm that? Yes, that is true, actually. I nod. He looks over at Valerie, who seems to be completely spaced out, and sighs and continues. Yeah, so it seems it hit her even harder than the rest of us. She barely remembers anything at all, even when it comes to herself as a person. That's what I meant earlier. That's the other reason why I can't really tell you all that much. And we'll have to hope that it's temporary, of course. They will all come back to her eventually. We just sit there for a moment, stunned and unsure how to advance. Then the person I least expected it from speaks up. But what about that Nathan dude? Didn't he seem to know her? Did he say anything else? Ah, yes, of course. As I said, we didn't have enough time to go into much detail. But from what he told me, the girl's apparently the daughter of one of his higher-ups. Now, that would be fine and all. Might have even been enough to explain his reaction towards finding her. That wasn't the actual reason, though. The truly strange part is what he told us afterwards. Apparently, she went missing... Oh, I missed it. It went ahead too quickly. The moment those words leave his tongue, my world fades to black. This can't be right. This doesn't make sense. It's really her? Is there a log somewhere? No, this can't be. This has to be some kind of misunderstanding. She is still alive? How? Where the hell has she been all this time? Was she kept down here all along? Did that Noel guy perform some kind of twisted experiments on her? Is that why she lost her memories? Fuck, I was so sure she was dead. Unlike Sophie, I never expected her to return. I was fully convinced I'd never get to see her again. Have to see her again. Even now, will she even remember me? It's not like we ever knew each other all that well, right? Maybe it's better this way. Maybe I wouldn't want her to remember. Okay, here we go. Okay, this goes backwards. Does this show beyond what? Okay, went missing roughly 2 years ago. Oh, okay, I did save. Adrian? Yeah, it feels like, all that was just kind of skipped. Oh, I bet that was all going on while Adrian was kind of in a haze. What the fuck are you talking about? How can you just say something like that with a straight face? Come on, Valerie, please calm down. I know it sounds absurd, but that's just what Nathan told me. And he sure didn't seem like he just made that up. The way he looked at her shook her. I doubt he could have faked all that. Why would he, anyway? I don't know, goddammit. This is way too much. I understand how you feel, but you don't, but it's fine. I'm sorry. You want some time to yourself? Think things through and all? I guess so. No, wait a minute. You can stay here. Just sit down. I wanted to look around a bit anyway. Didn't really get the chance yet over in my group. Would that be alright with all of you? Of course, I have not yet properly examined anything either. I think the same is true for you, Adrian. Adrian? Oh fuck, I totally forgot I'm here too. I've been silent for way too long. I need to calm down, breathe in and out. What was the question again? I should check the log. Which is what I just did without prompting. Okay, so that was a game mechanic, and I discovered it in like the brief moment between when it first becomes relevant and when they actually tell you about it. Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, did I skip more than I thought? No, it's a game mechanic, and I just accidentally found it in like the teeny tiny instance before the game tells you about it. So I haven't really looked around yet either, huh? Yeah. Good job. What an amazing performance. Definitely worth the uncomfortably long pause. Alright then, I'll come over at some point. Probably. Okay? Of course, take your time. Yeah, sure, all the time in the world. We're in no rush or anything, right? Evelyn and Oliver make their way towards the room I only briefly dashed through when I originally looked around. I follow after them. Last time I was here, I only paid attention to the strange metal door, but like I had guessed, it really is a living room. I didn't even notice the massive sofa occupying half the room when I first ran through here. The others are already busy with searching for clues or anything else that might help us, so I decided to wordlessly make my way over to the desk and look through the drawers. Nothing. Wow. Expecting similar results, I continue with the file cabinet, but this one doesn't even open in the first place. Not sure whether that's better or worse. God, this feels like a waste of time. Should have been obvious that Noel wouldn't leave anything actually useful behind. I let out a sigh and turn around toward the sofa, where Evelyn is currently focused on checking the books above. But my eyes don't remain there for long when they notice an object that stands out like a sore thumb among all the others. An acoustic guitar. Standing back there, right in the corner behind the door, as if to personally mock me. Did Noel put that here on purpose? First Amelia and now this. It's like, is everything alright? Evelyn has gotten down from the sofa. Is she talking to me? Did she notice how I glared at the guitar? Yeah, I was just kind of focused. Wanted to make sure I don't miss anything that could help us, but I don't think there's anything all that interesting here, to be honest. You might be right. It seems to just be a regular room. Did she actually swallow that shoddy excuse or just decide to drop it? I really can't tell. I can't tell what any of these people are thinking. Not that it matters. It's a coincidence. The thought of it being any other way isn't even worth entertaining. Yeah, I agree. Oh well, it was worth checking anyway. At least I can confirm that these rooms all look pretty identical to what we had over at the question team. He throws himself onto the couch. Evelyn and I sit down as well. Considering the situation we're in, it is rather surprising how pretty these rooms are. I wonder why the person behind this put that much care into the furnishing. Yeah, I had the same thought a while ago. Wait, I guess this could be a good opportunity to bring up what I had noticed. Not that it's particularly helpful, but yeah, I was wondering the same thing, so I checked out the plants in the kitchen. Plants? Yeah, the ones on the wall. Anyway, as I guessed, it's just AR. Probably all of this, aside from the wall. Ah, that does make a lot more sense. Wait, what? AR? You mean like augmented reality? Yeah, right, sorry. I thought the abbreviation was common enough. Nah, it's fine, don't worry. But I guess this explains what you two are talking about, because in all honesty, this whole place looks like shit. Wait, do you not possess a Neuralink? Oh well, not yet. I was planning to get one. Actually, I just went to a center before whatever happened and I got here. Alright, you mentioned that. I thought it was just a checkup or something. Oh, is that so? Why did you decide to get one now? Most people, well, excuse me if I sound disrespectful, but most people your age don't really change their mind on it anymore, do they? Excuse me for a second, I was just shifting the table and I think one of the little feet just came off. It sticks back on, but jeez. I really should put the table back on top of the other table. I say table, it's more like a tray thing. My sister got me a laptop fan table thing for cooling and stuff, and I never used it with my old one, but I've used it with my new one because it started getting really warm really quickly when I was going at it, and it's worked great. No offense taken, don't worry. You're right, of course. Have been living out in the sticks all my life, but now I've met someone a couple years ago, someone from a zone. Well, long story short, we want to move in together soon, hence I need to get chipped so I can finally live in one of those fancy cities myself. Sucks that that's even necessary. Sure, true. But then again, the whole point of the safe zones is, well, being safe. If these brain chip thingies make that possible, then there wouldn't be much point to those places existing if they just let anyone in. Yeah, sure, that's definitely what they were designed for. Not at all like they just want to collect our data and permanently tie us to the UCE. Okay, a lot of lore dump. That'd be insane. God, I'd love to tell him to his face how many people I know that wish they could get rid of their implants. How lucky he is to still have the choice. I doubt he'd care, and then again, not like it's my problem either. How does it even work though? Do these images really look as realistic as Adrian made it seem? Very much so. I mean, I didn't even notice after all. And it's not just image data either. Touch, smell, temperature, it's all being transmitted directly to the brain. Damn, that sounds insane. How did you notice that it was AR then? He's looking at me. Great. So glad I brought this up. But then again, maybe this is their idea of breaking the ice. I haven't talked a whole lot so far. Well, it's a bit difficult to explain. You see, it's just that with some objects it's easier to tell than with others, cause, damn, why did I even try? If I can't say it properly, I'd rather just stay quiet, guess I'm not much help after all. I direct my eyes at Evelyn and attempt to plead for help. She seemed much better at explaining this sort of stuff anyway. She smiles softly in return and continues. Take a look at this sofa, for example. I assume you see it differently from us, but we still sit on top of one from your perspective, right? Yeah, of course. It looks the same from our perspective. Same with this armrest. She runs her hand across it. I can feel its texture. I can't move my hand into what I see as the armrest. It is actually physically there, am I right? What are you getting at? You see, there is a sofa here. It looks different to you than it does to us. It might even feel different. But its general shape is the same. The only thing that has changed is its skin. The same is true for our imagined most objects here. If it wasn't, it would be difficult for us to find our way around after all. Either we would keep running into things we can't see, or we might try to hold on to something that isn't there. Well, that isn't necessarily true for smaller items, things that we aren't normally interacting with, that we don't usually come into contact with, like decoration, like plants. He gives me a somewhat impressed look. Hooray? Alright. Yeah, right. I'm going to assume that what the two of us see as a wooden structure enamored with plants is just a wall to you. There's nothing of a similar shape in its place, since it isn't something that we need to interact with. I see. In cases like that, you can just move through it the same way I can. Not completely. When we just gently move our hands across them, we can still feel the plants. They will even move a bit. Just, well, if we push past a certain point, there is nothing to actually hold us back, so we'll just phase through, right? Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? Interesting. Seems like you lot really do see this whole place in an entirely different way. The hall looks identical to you, though, right? Just gray walls, some rusty pipes and stuff? That's right. I suppose we're not intended to spend a lot of time there. Yeah, probably. But then how does your Neuralink know where it has to display this AR stuff? And well, what's it supposed to display in the first place? You see, the necessary files for that are stored in nearby nano-logs. Those transmit information to each Neuralink user in the area so that everyone receives the same data. Wait, hold on. What exactly is this nanolog stuff again? Aren't those just used for surveillance in the zones, or am I mixing something up? You're right, that is one of their tasks. In general, however, you can simply think of them as very small data storage devices that are distributed wherever necessary. Apart from tracking data of nearby Neuralink users, they can also host data like that which is necessary for the display of augmented reality functions. With other words, AR data is not generated by the Neuralinks themselves, but instead stored in the local nanologs, which then transmitted to each individual user. That's also why we can still access it despite not being connected to the net as a whole right now. That way, each nearby person automatically views the same set of data, preventing any inconsistencies from occurring. All that to ensure we see the world the way they want it to be seen. Littered with ads for the most part. Does that cover your question? Well, I think I got the gist of it, but I can't deny that I'd love to know more. I don't want to waste any more of our time, though. We'll let you die of boredom, Adrian. How considerate. I have been wondering for a while whether this is a meaningful use of our time. However, while I can't deny that I still don't see a direct connection to our situation, I do feel like it wouldn't hurt to be on the same page about all of this. Yeah, I want to know more about what Valerie knows, because what we saw in the hall, her reaction to Amelia having disappeared for 2 years, seemed kind of enraged. I'm wondering if she knows Amelia too. This place is full of AR after all. Maybe being able to see past that will be useful sometimes. Maybe not. I don't mind explaining this at all, especially since I'm not sure what else we could be discussing right now with the limited knowledge on Amelia you seem to have so far. Yeah, it's probably true. This may be the most appropriate time to get this stuff out of the way, so feel free to keep going. With that being said, I can't pretend to get anything out of this info dump. You'd be fine without me for a bit though, right? You're probably better at explaining all this than I am anyway. Definitely. I'm going to take a bathroom break. Of course, I will do my best. I nod with a slight smile before I get up from the couch. Moving toward the kitchen door, I hesitate. Valerie is likely still pouting at the table. I guess I'll take a detour through the hall. Honestly, I didn't come here because I needed to. I don't think I even drank anything since I woke up. Maybe I should. I drank some water from the sink, and some more. Only now do I realize how dehydrated I've been this entire time. No wonder I've been feeling like shit. Anyway, that's not why I came here. Frankly, I just needed some time to myself. Time to process everything. Time without people constantly talking around me. I guess I can't pretend that I don't understand how Valerie feels, and yet I absolutely looked down on her. lashed out for seemingly no reason, constantly needing time to herself, letting everyone wait for her to calm down. I feel like she's just wasting our time. I still kind of do, as if I'm any better, just sitting there without saying anything at all, either not knowing what to add, or deeming it as too irrelevant to even open my mouth for it, not even mentioning what I know about Amelia, keeping the truth under wraps for no good reason, just like back then. At this point I could just go and hide away elsewhere too. Well, here I am. I can't go on like this. I sit down on the toilet. I've already been here for over a minute and haven't even started to think about anything of use. How am I supposed to make any progress like this? I need to try and connect the dots I've been dealt so far. Figure something out. Anything that might help us solve this and get out of here. It's not like I know anything about these people, but that doesn't mean I want to let them down. To let them feel like I'm not even trying, like I'm hiding something. What if they just shut up? Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, let's summarize what I know so far. This place is split into 3, most likely identical, areas. Each of those belongs to one team with 3 members each. So far, we have no way to know anything about the participants from the other answer team. We'll most likely hear about them in like 2.5 hours. Well, whenever Oliver returns for his second visit. We have a rough idea of who's in the question team, at least if we take everything that Oliver said at face value. And on top of that, only if we can trust what Nathan, a person we haven't even met, told Oliver. The problem is that our whole task here is to figure out what is going on in the QT, so if we can't truly believe anything we're told, how are we supposed to learn anything? I mean, we barely know how the specifics of this game work. Learning the truth about that secret participant could mean pretty much anything. With other words, they've used that thing before. I've usually heard it as in other words. Very curious. With other words, our goal should be to simply find out as much as possible and hope that we'll stumble upon that truth along the way. Either way, we're really only left with 2 options. 1, we trust what Oliver has told us. The 3rd member of the QT is Amelia. If it's true, we have a chance of winning. If it turns out that he lied to us, well, we're fucked. 2, we don't trust anything he says. In that case, we're fucked either way. We don't have any other source of information. Seems like a pretty clear case of Pascal's wager. I don't have a choice but to trust him if I want to have any sort of chance on salvation. That being said, that means Amelia is the secret member of the QT. All the details line up. Oliver's description of her appearance, her having gone missing 2 years ago, and, well, her name. It fits way too well to be a coincidence, even if I can't quite believe it. This also tells us a bunch about this Nathan himself. He was apparently wearing a lab coat and working with or for Amelia's father. This lines up, since her father was a leading scientist at a Neuralink Center, the one in A3 to be specific. Interesting, because Oliver brought up that he was visiting that very same location before he was abducted. Is there some kind of connection between that place and all of this? If so, does that mean Nathan could be involved somehow? Well, that might be too much of a stretch. After all, he could have also been brought here for the simple reason that he was there for work. Duh. I guess that's all I've got when it comes to the participants I haven't met yet. The only connection I can really draw is the Neuralink Center, but I'm not sure how well this holds up with the remaining people here. It also still doesn't explain what Amelia has to do with this. Why the hell is she here? Is this connected to why she disappeared in the first place? She certainly seems to be at the heart of all this. Nathan knows about her, so do I. Now that I think about it, Valerie's reactions toward hearing about Amelia did seem rather strong. But then again, most of her reactions towards anything have been intense. Still, something to take note of. Okay, good. Adrian, you noticed it too. Oh, one more thing that has been bothering me. How did Oliver know Valerie's name when she first entered the kitchen? Did I miss something? Or does he know more than he's letting on? I guess I could at least check the log. The only time that he could have been told her name before she joined us was back in the hall when we first met. Nope, nothing. Her name wasn't brought up a single time after he arrived. We went to the kitchen right after leaving the hall. Should I ask him about it? Well, maybe, just maybe, he doesn't know either. I recall the way I felt when I first learned the others' names. I felt like I already knew somewhere deep down, like I was just relearning something I had previously forgotten. We all seem to be struggling with our memories, some more than others. Maybe we already spoke with one another before we woke up in here? More than just our memory, our neural links were also tampered with. All entries from before our arrival are gone. Any advanced functions, such as communication, are unavailable, and not even the time is being displayed correctly. Noel clearly doesn't want us to know what happened before this, or how much time has passed since we got here. But why? What is he trying to hide through that? And my train of thought is interrupted by a sudden sound of a door closing shut. Judging by the volume, it could have only been the door of the kitchen. Did Valerie enter the bedroom? Wait, how long have I been sitting in here anyway? I should go back to the others. I get up and walk to the door where I freeze. Is Valerie still in the bedroom? Can I just walk past her? Should I say something? Will she say something? Ugh, why is this even bothering me? I'll just go now. It'll be fine. Sure enough, she's sitting on the bed she woke up in, facing away from me. I think about whether I should go back through the hole or just straight through the kitchen and pick the ladder. I take a single large step and end up right in front of the kitchen door. Right as I grab the handle, I notice Valerie turning towards me from the corner of my eye. I return her by turning towards her. Our eyes meet. I continue to push down the handle. What are you thinking right now? Huh? What are you thinking about? I let go of the handle. Not much. Why? I've been thinking about how much you're pissing me off. What? What the heck have I done to her? We barely even spoke. Not even gonna bother with replying, It's exactly what I'm talking about. This entire time you haven't said anything noteworthy, haven't contributed anything, as if you're one to talk. And now what? Just gonna walk straight past me? I just thought you'd probably want to be left alone. If I did, I wouldn't have left the kitchen. I wanted to talk to you. You did? Wait, how did you know I was in the bathroom? I heard the door closing. I mean, I guess, but how did you know that was me? Because I only heard it closing once, and that was a while ago. I don't know how much time has passed. But definitely more than anyone should need to finish their business. So what could that mean? Someone decided to run away from the big, scary group conversation and hide in the bathroom, perhaps? Well, to be fair, it could have also been someone with really bad constipation, so it was a bit of a gamble. Which was it? Fuck you. Don't act like you haven't been doing the exact same thing this entire time since the moment we first woke up in here. It's not just me. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to hear your thoughts on something or someone. What do you think of Oliver? He's a man. He seems nice. Great input, really. I'll write that down straight away. No problem. Let's try this again, alright? Does he seem off to you somehow? Do you think we can trust anything he tells us? About that girl, Amelia? I mean, I obviously got my own opinion on the whole matter, but still, thought a second opinion wouldn't hurt. I don't really know. He seems nice and all, but I guess that doesn't really mean much. Well, there's one thing I noticed. What is it? When you and Oliver first met, he greeted you with your name. I don't think he should have known. No, I'm certain that there was no time frame during which he could have been told without me hearing. You're right, he did that. And you're sure you didn't just miss how someone told him? Did you check your log? Yeah, of course. Nobody mentioned your name. I consider explaining how I think it might be related to our memory loss, how I also felt like I already knew all of their names before they first told me. I decided not to. Weird. Well then, she gets up from... Oops. No, that only shows what's said. She gets up from that. Let's not leave those two alone for any longer. She pushed them aside and enters the kitchen. I want to punch her so badly, but I just follow her back to the living room instead. Oh wow, you actually came back. Took so long that we were placing bets on who'd return first. Guess neither of us expected you to join up, huh? Well, to be precise, Adrian was following behind Valerie, so... Oh, you want to let me win? How kind of you. It's not it, I'm just being fair. Whatever you say, whatever you say. Anyway, why don't the two of you come and sit down? There's enough sofa for everyone. Ignoring their little bet, I do as I'm suggested. Valerie hesitates for a moment, but ultimately decides to do the same. Sounds like the two of you have really been hitting it off, huh? What can I say? We had quite a bit of time on our hands. We hope you've been getting along as well. Oh yes, splendidly, she says in a clearly sarcastic tone, but Evelyn seems happy to hear it anyway. Thanks to Adrian, I came to a conclusion about how I want to tackle this whole game thing from now on. You did? Thanks to me? Well, how's that for someone who hasn't contributed a single thing, huh? I decided that I will not trust any of you. Not yet, at least. That being said, I will cooperate with you to some extent. I can't imagine sitting around moping all day will get me anywhere. We don't have that sort of time. Well, progress is progress, so pretty much the exact conclusion I reached as well. I'm starting to think Valerie and I don't feel all that different about this situation. It's just that she actively voices her complaints while I sit quietly in the corner. Isn't there anything we can do to strengthen your trust? You? Not really. But to be honest, it's not like it matters all that much whether I can trust you anyway. Oliver, on the other hand, well, first of all, there's something I wanted to ask you. Something that Adrian brought up. Huh? Oh, that. Please don't frame it as if I'm the one distrusting him. Sure, what's this about? When we first met in the kitchen, you greeted me right away. To be specific, you said, there you are, Valerie, right? Oh, yeah, I guess I might have said something along those lines. Not something along those lines, that's what you said. I checked the log. Alright, if you say so. What about it? Well, I obviously wasn't there the whole time, but according to what Adrian told me, from when you first arrived in our hall to that moment, nobody told you what my name was. Is that so? I could have sworn someone mentioned it. It just felt natural to greet you like that. Are you sure that neither of you brought it up, Adrian? I nod. I checked every conversation that happened during that time frame, and it's not like he's ever been alone with Evelyn at that point. So assuming that's true, mind telling me how you knew my name? Well, how did I? I must have picked it up somewhere. Damn. Can't just check my log, I guess. Haha. What? Why? I just checked my log as well, and I think I might have an idea. Oh, guess I should hold off on sharing my theory for a bit longer. Right after we split up and the two of you entered the kitchen, I started knocking on the bathroom door. I called out to Valerie. Valerie, can you hear me? Now, my memories on the details are rather vague, but I recall that you, Adrian, already walked further into the kitchen while Oliver still stood behind to close the door, right? Damn, the log can't help me here. Is that what happened? I think it might have. Yeah, that must be it. Guess the log only picks up stuff you managed to properly hear, huh? That's right, that's probably how it was. I record things I haven't actively paid attention to, but nothing that was out of reach for me to hear altogether. I see. Well, I guess that adds up with what I can tell from my log. Yeah, I'm sorry for bringing it up. Not like I wanted to sow any unnecessary distrust, but, well, seems I was just overthinking this. Haha, don't worry about it, alright? It's only natural to suspect others in a situation like this, especially after spending some time with the Queen of Distrust. Yeah. Luckily, we managed to clear up this misunderstanding rather quickly. If anything, this shows that you shouldn't keep your suspicions to yourself. True, it would have been much worse if you kept distrusting me because of something so silly all day. So then, was that the only thing that bothered you? Well, yeah, for now. I'm just going to look forward to hearing what you will have to share with us next time you return from your team. Of course, I'm sure the same is true for all of you. No, not to that extent at least. The thing is, I know Amelia. From everything you told us, I'm sure it must be the same one. I was right, this explains her extreme reaction to Oliver's story. Though, while it still doesn't explain her behavior prior to that. Whatever, if what she says is true, then at least 3 out of 8 people here have some kind of connection to Amelia. What about the rest? Someone from the other answer team will very likely know her too, but what about Oliver and Evelyn? Were the two of you friends then? Who knows? What do you mean? I'm not going to talk about that until Oliver leaves. We can discuss any further details after that if you really want to know. Once he returns, I want him to tell me how Amelia reacted to hearing about me. The less he knows about our relationship, the more helpful his report will be in determining whether anything he says is to be believed. Understood? I see. Sure, that makes sense, I guess. If it means I can earn some of your trust that way, then I'll do as you say. Not a bad idea, really. It might be the simplest way to find out whether Oliver can be trusted and whether Amelia is really here. Adrian, you should bring up that you know her too. There's just one tiny loophole, but what if she just doesn't remember, at least not yet? Or to be more specific, what if Oliver's going to claim that's what she said? Like, if everything he said so far is true and she lost her memory, who knows whether she already regained any of it? That would be awfully convenient, wouldn't it? I'll just have to hope that isn't the case, huh? Nobody says anything in return for a while. She's right, of course, not like there's anything we can do to help her remember, huh? Or is there? Oliver seems to struggle with finding the right words to continue, then eventually takes a deep breath. At least now I understand why you reacted this way back in the kitchen. It's starting to add up why you distrust me so much. Oh no, don't worry, I distrust all of you pretty equally. The problem is that I want to trust you, or more specifically, I need to be able to trust whatever you tell us about Amelia. That's what this entire thing is about. If you say so. Anyway, I know you don't want to talk about what your relationship with her was and all that, though it's pretty obvious that she was at least important to you in some way. Ignoring that, can I ask one thing? You can. You might even answer, who knows? Why would I lie? What would I get out of making up this story about a girl you knew being here? Assuming that I would have a reason to do so just throws a huge wrench in your whole line of thought. Like what? If I made up this specific description somehow perfectly fitting someone that you knew, that implies that I already knew about you knowing her. I knew that I would get some sort of reaction out of you, and me. If that was the case, I would very likely also know more about your exact connection, making your whole test kind of pointless. So unless you believe that, why would I lie? Who knows? Well, she did say she might answer. I honestly didn't expect him to put up this much of a resistance. So far, it seems like he always tried to be really considerate of Valerie, even when she reacted in a less than friendly manner. He really doesn't want her to distrust him. And he is correct. If what he told us was a lie, it was too specific to be a simple coincidence. He would need to know more about all this. He might even cooperate with the mastermind. Same is true for what I thought about her. If Oliver is truthful, but Nathan lied for whatever reason, he would probably try to orchestrate everything in a way that doesn't reveal the truth. He might be able to tell Oliver what Valerie wants to hear in order to, mislead us, make us lose the game? Maybe to protect someone from the other answer team, but that would probably make Nathan a regular participant with motives beyond the purpose of this experiment. If that was the case, how would he know who resides in which team? And ignoring all that, can it really be coincidence that at least 2 people from one team know Amelia? Wait, maybe Valerie is just bluffing, waiting for Oliver to slip up and say that she is being remembered. But that would contradict her reaction to hear. By the way, how much longer do you have left, Oliver? Huh? Oh, right. Extending this timer, everyone following his gaze. Just 7 more minutes, then you're finally rid of me. Great, can't wait. Time's really flying by when you're having fun, huh? But wait a second, now that I think about it, how did she know about the timer? When Oliver explained it to me, Valerie wasn't in the room, and after that, there wasn't a single point in time when she was in one room with him without me being present as well. She shouldn't have known about it. Fuck, this is the exact same thing we've just been over. It would fit so well with the idea of our lost memories, but there's probably some logical explanation for this as well, isn't there? I'm just missing something really obvious again, something to explain this without some unnecessary sci-fi twist. Why can't I just come up with something actually useful to say, something that would really help us with figuring this whole thing out? I mean, I could always share what I know about Amelia, but no, not yet. I should at least wait for what Oliver has to tell us once he returns. Valerie's plan is pretty solid overall. There's no reason to get into all that. Not before we know for sure whether she's really here, whether she's truly still alive after all this time. In the end, there might still be some other logical explanation to all of this, right? Adrian? Huh? Looking around, everyone else has stood up while I was lost in thought. Oh, sorry, of course. I get up as well, joining them on their way to see Oliver off. So, how exactly does this door work? How do you open it? Well, the one time I used it so far, it just opened itself by itself once the timer reached the last minute. Could we, just come with you? Not that I want to necessarily, but wouldn't it work? I don't know, I doubt it. It would be an obvious oversight, don't you think? Also, the whole contraption is a bit more complicated than just this one door. How so? Alright, how should I put this? So, behind this door, there's another one that only opens after this one is closed again. He's wildly gesturing in a desperate attempt to visualize his explanation. That leads to a small chamber below this whole platform thing that Noel was standing on earlier. Well, that chamber connects to 3 doors in total, one leading to each of the halls, and yeah, all of those work just like the one I described. It definitely seems like someone wanted to make very sure that nobody would enter any of these doors without permission. But wait a second. So there's a room below this platform? Well, room might be an exaggeration. It's really just a small round space that connects all these doors and halls and stuff. But didn't Noel appear on that platform? Using some kind of elevator coming from down there? Did he come from that small chamber then? You're exactly right. That's what it seemed like. In that case, it's rather likely that Noah's hiding further down, wouldn't you agree? What makes you think that? Well, you can simply think of the chamber that lies in the center of the three halls as an elevator shaft. When at ground level, the elevator seems to be a regular floor that connects the three exits to one another. But beyond that, it can also move up to function as a platform for Noel to talk to us from, or even further down to a separate area in which Noel is most likely located. That's the only explanation that makes sense, is it not? Now that she puts it like that, yeah, it really is just that simple. Oliver nods in agreement, seeming rather impressed by her deduction. Valerie, not so much. Yeah, that's great. So back to my question. Mind if I try going through the door with you? I don't know if that's such a good idea. Shouldn't we just do as we're told for now? Come on. I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, if the two of you are sure about it. At that moment, the door opens, revealing the small round space in between the inner and one of the outer and one of the inner doors, just like Oliver had mentioned. Valerie enters in space and nothing happens. Well, won't you come in too? Oh yeah, sure. Suddenly a generic announcement plays out through the same speakers that were last used when Noel was giving his introductory speech. Error. Unauthorized number of signals detected. Please step back from the exit. Well, there you have it. If you'd be so kind then. He gestures for her to back off. She sighs and, after a bit of hesitation, takes a couple of steps away from the door. So long. The door slides shut in front of him. Now it's just the three of us once more. We stand there quietly. I look back and forth between Valerie, Evelyn, and the floor, waiting for someone to say something, anything. Unfortunately, it seems like they're doing the exact same thing. Valerie promised to tell us about her connection to Amelia once Oliver was gone. Now she looks hesitant, like she's contemplating how or if to go about it. Maybe she's hoping we already forgot? We clearly didn't. Evelyn is most likely just giving Valerie a chance to gather her thoughts, but come on, we don't have that kind of time, do we? I take a deep breath, preparing to give her a piece of my mind. However, before my voice manages to reach my throat, it is swiftly interrupted by a sudden rumbling of a stomach. Judging by the two sets of eyes looking in my direction, it appears to have been my own, attempting to break the silence that engulfed the hall ever since Oliver left her. The fact that you can even think about food in a situation like this is insane to me. Kind of disgusting, to be honest. Well, yeah, sorry, I guess I forgot to eat before getting kidnapped. Maybe we should use this opportunity to take a short break in the kitchen. I'll check the supplies and whip us up something for us to eat. You can't properly think on an empty stomach after all, isn't that right? Are you sure we've got time for that right now? Not like I'm going to starve anytime soon, so don't worry about me. I don't think that will pose a problem. We still have almost 90 minutes at our disposal until Oliver returns. I doubt we'll need that much time to discuss what Valerie wanted to talk about, do we? No. She still acts as though she's irritated about this turn of events, but I get the feeling she's actually relieved that she can postpone talking about Amelia a little further. Not that I can't relate. In that case, I think it would only prove beneficial to prepare a meal now. You might not be hungry quite yet, but that could change at any time. It's best to take care of things like this sooner rather than later. I really wish this thing had voice acting. I mean, obviously, an indie game like this wouldn't, but I'm not good at yapping like this for this long. Yeah, I get it. Let's get going then. The two of you can simply sit down for now. I will take care of everything, so don't worry about it. With that, she heads towards the kitchen unit to scour the fridge and cupboards for ingredients that might be useful to her. So far, there has not been a single decision that I've had to make. And we're how far into the stream? Consider offering my help or telling her to keep it simple, but I don't want her to think that I'm doubting her abilities, so remain silent, simply sitting down instead. The sound of her chopping is an amount of clock-like precision to it that turns into something akin to white noise. Not offering to help seems to have been the right call. Realistically, I'd have only slowed her down. Well then, if we're going to be sitting around for a while anyway. Why don't the two of you tell me a bit about yourselves? I don't know, not like I really care about her trust, but I guess it might help her when it comes to opening up about Amelia. What do you want to know? Ah, great, a volunteer, just whatever. Who are you, besides your name and all that? What do you do? Where do you live? Well, oh great, small talk. Didn't expect that to be something I'd have to worry about today. I study artificial intelligence. Live at my parents' house in B23. Valerie nods and waits for me to continue until she realizes that, whoa, quite chatty today, are we? Well, not that I expect it to go any better. You live in B23, so you probably go to the uni in A2? In A5, actually. It's not that much farther away, and they have a way better reputation when it comes to AI, so yeah. A5? Heh, I see. Crap, did I fuck up? Did she know that Amelia went there as well? Well, what do you mean? Oh, nothing. Just that you'd rather commute to the next zone over instead of moving out into your own apartment. Living away from your parents sure seems scary, huh? Well, at least I'm glad that's all she meant, if you say so. They're rarely ever at home, to the point where you could argue I'm pretty much living by myself anyway. What are they so busy with? They're, doing research for hard arms. Oh, is that so? What are they working on then? Still focused on our task at hand, everyone rejoins our conversation. Well, I obviously don't know the details, but as far as I know, they're currently working on improving the AI for the upcoming gen of household models. Not that I really get what's left to improve. This perfection is hard to reach. I see. Is that why you're studying artificial intelligence then? Are you planning to further pursue their research once you're done? Well, that is the plan at least, yeah. Wow, how nice. Following right in your parents' footsteps. You sure get along real well, huh? She adds in a condescending manner. I guess so. They've always been supportive of that decision. Wait though, just to get this straight, you all are a family full of AI nerds and you don't even have any androids at home? Huh? Did I say that? We do. 2 actually. 2? And you're trying to tell me that you basically live alone? Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't really think those count as people. Wow, harsh words. You ever tell them that to their faces? I mean, no, I don't mean that negatively. I just think having androids at home is different from living with someone else. Different from growing up with actual parents. I can't say that I don't understand where he's coming from. Evelyn jumps in, offering her assistance, whether that was necessary or not. Of course, androids can be of service in a variety of situations, and at the current level, conversations with them will not feel much different from those with other human beings. If that's the way you want it to be, that is. What do you mean? Well, modern AI technology allows for androids to behave in an exceedingly human-like fashion, to the point where you would not be able to distinguish them from actual people. And when you choose to purchase one, however, you can decide for yourself how you want for it to act, what you would like their personality to entail. Their opinions will strictly align with your blueprint. Some might want household models to simply focus on their job, taking care of cleaning, doing the laundry, and whatever else they might be needed for. Others might want them to be a social companion. Either way, it's a choice that their respective owner has to make. Should they decide to purchase a model with a distinct personality, it is still their responsibility to decide on the specifics of their behavior. In the end, their android could agree to say and do whatever they want, as long as it complies with the law, of course, or it might hold convictions separate from their own. In either case, however, it was the owner's decision, even if they only notice later on that their android's personality does not align with what they originally intended. They can still have it reprogrammed to better fit their preferences. Yeah, unlike us humans, who act, think, and feel certain ways because that's what we want, AI only acts, thinks, and feels the way it does because someone decided for it to do just that. If it acts in an unexpected fashion, it's nothing more than a mistake, a bug that needs to be fixed. Though that part isn't too different for humans, is it? Leave the talking to a minimum for a bit. this. I want to keep streaming, but like, I don't know. In addition to the choking thing, I'm like weirdly itchy all of a sudden. Like my nose is. I don't know. Oh, she works at Neuralink too. Yeah. I do have an idea, actually. The same one I already had when bringing up how Oliver apparently knew your name without ever being told. Yeah, we figured out a solution to that one. Evelyn said your name while Oliver was nearby, sure, but who knows whether he actually heard that. He might have just agreed to that theory because he didn't have any other explanation. Sure, this we can't know for sure, but then what? You think Oliver and I know more than we're letting on that we're secret? No, nothing like that. Yeah. Lingering memories. Okay. This situation should be a well-earned breather. Three strangers trapped in an even stranger situation finally get the chance to simply sit down and eat without having to worry about anything else. Instead of finally being able to relax, I feel even more tense than before. It's pretty rare that I don't eat all by myself, yeah, but beyond that, my mind practically screams at me, not allowing me to rest for even a single second. Now that I've finally accepted and simply trying to solve this game all by much help, I guess I need to confront the fact that there's only one productive thing I can do. I need to tell the others what I know. I need to simply need to tell them that I knew Amelia as well. It's so obvious, so much easier than grasping at straws. In desperate attempt to piece together some kind of answer, and yet I kept it to myself this entire time. And I will continue doing so. I mean, we don't even know for sure whether Oliver was telling us the truth, do we? We should just wait and see for now, right? Despite that, I've been continuously criticizing Valerie, in my head at least, for wasting our time instead of simply telling her us about her relationship with Amelia. In all honesty, for as much shit as I like to give her, is the way she acts really that strange, irrational? Of course she would be scared and confused after waking up in a place like this. Of course she wouldn't trust the people around her suddenly hearing about a person she knows to have gone missing. She's scared for her life. She wants to get out of here more than anything else, and she even wants to trust us. The fact that she's trying to get to know us and find evidence for us being trustworthy is proof of that. Even if, or maybe especially because, she only wants us to trust us so that she can properly participate in this game and work towards getting out of here. That only makes her behavior all the more rational, doesn't it? I, on the other hand, would be lying if I said I've ever been all that scared of staying in here. It sounds pathetic, it is pathetic, but I don't care all that much. If we make it out of here, sure, cool, but if not, oh well. No, much more than that, I'm scared of what happens once I do get out of here, of having said too much, of revealing things that have been continuously hidden inside my head for years, and for Sophie to find out that I've been lying to her all this time about something so stupid without any proper reason at all. I think I'd rather die than kill who I am in her mind. At times I felt comforted by the idea that Amelia was gone. God, I'm disgusting. Well, that is certainly true, but isn't that beneficial in a sense? Isn't talking about Amelia part of the task he has given us? I'm aware, duh. That's exactly my problem. Why the fuck is that our task? Why were we trapped here by some insane dude and told to find out the truth about some girl? What did anyone gain from that? I've been thinking about just that for a while now. I can only come to one logical conclusion. He doesn't even know what that truth is himself. Now that she says it, I agree. I can't think of anything else either, though, in all honesty. It's not like I spend all that much time thinking about it. I was way too busy with worrying about our memories. That can't be right, can it? If that was true, how would we be able to decide whether our conclusions were correct? Well, to be fair, the rules were rather vague anyway, weren't they? those guys in the first place. But aside from that, I'm pretty sure he didn't have to spend all that much money on selling this thing. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Wow. Wonder what happened in the past between Amelia and Adrian. I feel like I should be speaking more, if only because without me at least commentating, is this really even transformative enough to? I mean, just gameplay footage on its own. Is that even allowed on places like YouTube? No, I need to talk. Yeah. Hello there. I hope you have been doing well so far. Though to be more precise, I already know how well you've been doing, how much progress you have made, and that it wasn't all that much. Which doesn't come as much of a surprise, mind you. After all, you barely know anything about the remaining teams so far. I hope that the second visit of the QT members will change that. In order to motivate you a little further, I think I should use this opportunity to specify some rules. As some of you have already guessed, I am indeed monitoring everything you say. More precisely, I have direct access to the nano-logs in this facility and can therefore read through all of your conversations. Do keep that in mind from now on. That access allows me to ascertain when one of the ATs manages to figure out what I consider to be the truth about the secret member of the QT. Once that happens, that AT will be declared the winner. I don't care how long it takes you to reach that point. You can stay here for as long as you like, or as long as the supplies last you. Though, I assume, sleeping would be rather unpleasant for two of you in particular. Oh, how I pity them. As soon as one of the teams has reached the truth, however, the game will conclude immediately. So I'm guessing that there's one other member besides Oliver who doesn't have a neural link. There could be some other even more sinister meaning. But the simplest answer is that there isn't really anything resembling a bed there without the help of AR. The simplest and most benign. The winners will be allowed to leave, together with their corresponding QT partner and the secret participant, while the remaining participants will die. I've been prepared for this. I knew he would say this. And he probably knew that we already knew he would say this. Still, it makes me question everything I've done up to this point once more. So far, I haven't done a single thing to help us get out of here. I've kept completely quiet, haven't even mentioned knowing Amelia at all. Well, I might not care whether I get out of this alive. I can't make that choice for these two, can I? These two and Oliver. Will my inaction lead to their deaths? I guess that's just the way I've always been. After all, I never told Sophie that I knew Amelia either. That day, when she walked up to me, asking whether I'd seen her anywhere, or whether I knew anything, no matter how insignificant it might seem, I told her straight to her face that I didn't. Never talked to her. Not talking about that was more important to me than potentially saving her. I've always prioritized my own comfort above how that could impact those around me. So the exact opposite of my mother. I swear, she is not only incapable of putting herself above others, but even incapable of making a decision that could affect others. And yes, she will help. I mean, unless you... you don't need to help will not stop. You have to specifically tell her, don't. Because, if left to her own devices, she will do anything to try to make things easier for others. I shouldn't say that like that's a bad thing. I mean, my mother is a great person, but not being able to turn off that altruism can be problematic at times. I really feel like it's the root of the friction between my mom and my sister lately is that, my sister, she does take after our father quite a bit, very independent, and she's very much, I can handle it, and especially when it comes to being a mother, because I don't know if I've mentioned, my sister does have a couple of kids now. I absolutely adore my niece and nephew. But, but my sister does not want any help. And, my mom, it's not that she doesn't think my sister can handle it. It's just that my sister is still her child, and that mothering instinct doesn't turn off just because your baby is now a mother in her own right. And Mom has explained that to me. I'm not sure if she's ever actually explained that to my sister. But if you're watching this, know that Mom means well. I doubt that she'd be watching this live, but well, for no other reason than that when I first found out about this game, I sent her the link. She probably wouldn't be watching my playthrough because she wants to play it herself. That is one thing that my sister and I bond over, is our love of Zero Escape. And so, of course, when I found out about this game on the Zero Escape subreddit, that someone was making a game inspired by it, I of course had to pass that info along to my sister. So yes, on we go. Could I have made a difference? Could she have been found if I opened up about everything I knew? No, I didn't know anything. Sure, I lied, I can't deny that, but I truly didn't have any hints towards where she could have been. We hadn't spoken in months, years at that point, and it's the same thing now, isn't it? Sure, I'm keeping info from them, but none of it is all that significant to begin with, right? Just let me escape for a little while longer, if not from this place, then at least from the truth. Welcome back. I hope you've been doing well, given the circumstances. She steps toward him and they quietly look at each other for a while before he lets out a sigh. Yeah, I guess so. Listen, you all heard what that dude just said. I think we've got lots to talk about. Quietly nod in unison. Despite that, we just keep standing around unsure where to begin. Oh. She did open it before we returned. Found a photo outside of her. One of her and some guy she didn't recognize. Hey, no, Oliver would have mentioned that. What was his name? Avery? What did he look like? We didn't actually get to see it for ourselves. She left it inside the drawer, and when we wanted to open it again, well, it didn't work anymore, so it was locked. Seems that way. Yeah, okay. A trolley problem, of course. One of those other people's Sophie said it's not simple as 4. It's 3a plus a equals 3 plus s. Simplify it, a equals s. But are a and s truly equal? What happened between him and Sophie? Sophie had something else to share. She remembered quite well. Of August, Neuralink Center in A3. She was on her way to meet up with Emilia's father. Yeah. Aha! Oh, so it's Elizabeth. Yeah. Yeah. No Neuralink. Yeah. before I ever spoke to her, that I actually met her parents. Well, met is not really the right word. It's not like I really saw them or perceived them, just like all the other people you meet on a daily basis. Yeah, it seems very weird. She's trying to keep yeah. What the fuck? This is surreal. Oh. 10 pages. Oh, okay. Not as much. Let go of him right this instant. Ugh, fuck. Adrian, you alright? He appears to have lost consciousness. He shouldn't stay this way for long. It could have gotten dangerous had you not stepped in, however. I'm glad you did. Goddamn, what the hell were you thinking, Valerie? Nothing, really. What do you mean, nothing? Were you trying to kill the guy or something? Those artificial arms are no laughing matter. No, I wouldn't have. I would have let him down eventually. Eventually, yeah? How much more unconscious did you want him to be before that, huh? I mean, you're insane. How do you even figure he's hiding anything in the first place? There's been a bunch of little things he said that seemed strange to me, not really one thing in particular. Go on. For example, when he heard that Sophie went to the Neuralink Center to meet with Amelia's father, the first thing he asked was whether she went alone. Why would he ask something like that? Probably because he thought that he might have been the one to tag along. That also explains why, out of all of us, he was the one to guess that Sophie didn't have a Neuralink. Sure, might have been a lucky guess, right? But when someone barely says anything the entire time, but every single thing that he does say is absolutely spot on, it makes you wonder. Everything, huh? So, was he right about you having seen Amelia again after being discharged then? Seems like Adrian wasn't alone in keeping some stuff hidden. Hypocrite much, eh? I wasn't. Come on now, there's no need to interrogate her like that. I'm sure she had her reasons. Yeah? Like for almost killing Adrian? I didn't. This is a difficult situation for all of us. I don't condemn her for overreacting. Damn, no need to coddle her like that. She's an adult. She can be held responsible for her own actions, you know? Of course, that doesn't mean it will help us going forward. So Valerie, don't you want to tell us calmly whether there is anything else you know about Amelia? You said earlier that if you had kept in touch with her, it would have only been natural for her to know your name, right? I agree. Then why didn't she? It isn't as simple as Oliver's making it out to be, is it? Ah, so now I'm the bad guy, huh? It's alright. Oliver, you're right. I've still been hiding things as well. Well, obviously, out with it then. Just shut up for a second, alright? Evelyn, can we talk in private? You still don't trust me after all, huh? Chill, this isn't about you. I just want to discuss some stuff before sharing it all with Adrian. Okay, so what does that have to do with me? His Neuralink is picking all this up, dipshit. You can stick with him while we leave to talk, alright? Oh, is that so? He can check all this later? Damn. His condition is stable enough to leave him alone with this dude, right? Of course, he should wake up eventually without any further care being necessary. Alright, I'll look after him. Thank you. If anything happens, feel free to call for me. Sure thing. Let's go then. Women, am I right? Haha, yeah. So you can really read through everything we just said, huh? Damn, never thought I'd have to consider my words in a room with no one except some unconscious kid, but here I am. Well, so just so you know, as much as everyone believes that Valerie surely had some kind of reason to hide some of the things she knew, I'm sure you have your reasons too, so I don't judge you for not sharing whatever your connection to Amelia is, or Sophie. But please, consider talking to us. Hell, just the two girls if you'd prefer that. Just don't try to solve this by yourself, alright? If you do that, I promise to not let anything happen to you. Any of you. We'll get out of here alive together. Hey, damn, what a promise to make. Still, I believe we can make that happen. That's all, I'm done. Get conscious soon, though I guess you already are once you get to read this. Okay, I'll shut up now. And then the, Okay, so that's been like about an hour and a half just since the last save. And we were already in the kitchen with Olive, or at that save. So I've been going at this for like over 2 hours, I'd say, without a single decision to make. Could have at least said something. Turned toward her, finding her eyes still fixated on the wall. Words felt just as sharp as before, but her expression makes the shift in her demeanor more than obvious. Is this the result of their conversation, or does she feel sorry for her lawyer? Either way, I doubt she'd want to admit it. Though it is true that we wanted to discuss matters in private, he must not have seen any reason to disturb us. I also told him that he wasn't the one I was worried about. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just wanted to make sure he keeps his mouth shut about what we told him, at least for now. Should I reply? Would she even want to hear what I have to say? Would it help her make things worse? He said he'd keep quiet. He did, huh? Oh, I guess I couldn't have done much then. Now it's up to whether he's a man of his word. You still don't trust him? No clue. Do I wonder. Yeah, tell him what you know. Yeah. Yeah. Was that not her appearance when she was younger? Yeah. Oh, this facility. No. Oh. That's so different from Adrian. just want to know more about the relationship between Adrian and Amelia. Like, I mean, it sounded at first as if they'd been in a relationship, and when he brought Sophie up at first, it sounded like she had been a relationship he had had later, but that they had known each other. And now I'm finding out, no, Sophie and Amelia were girlfriend and girlfriend. So where does Adrian factor into all this? Yep. Okay. Are we actually going to have to do an escape room sequence finally? Ah. Abstract transfer experiment is scheduled to start on 3/7/2071. Wasn't 2071 also the year that VLR takes place in? No, it was definitely somewhere in the 2070s. Participants will gather at the Parapsychological Research Center of New Berlin before being transferred to the newly established underground test site. In addition, Neuralink, Nanolog, and Artons. I've heard all three of those already. But does that mean that Amelia's father took on the mother's name when they got married? There he is, standing on his little stage once more. As per usual, he's not granting anyone a single glance, simply beginning to speak in the most monotonous of voices, barely ever fitting the words he produced. Hello, everyone. I hope you have been doing well these past 3 hours. Well, I said the same last time, but I hope you don't mind me repeating myself. I already know how well you've been doing. I'm glad to see that each team has, in their own way, managed to make some progress. You might still wonder what it is that you're even trying to find, but don't worry, you don't necessarily need to know that. All you do need to know is that you're getting closer. Well, hearing that might not mean awfully much to you. So instead, how about I give you a bit of a helping hand? I'm not a monster after all. You have already noticed the large door in each of your halls, right? Not the exit, the other one. Of course you have. I'd be worried had you not. How about granting you access to the room that lies beyond it? And just as he says those words, the scanner on the said door turns green. Finally. Why was it locked in the first place? Is whatever we find there actually going to help us? So maybe he just wanted us to think for ourselves for a little while before starting to straight up hand out hints. If that is the case, if this is actually going to be as significant as it may seem, then this might be the turning point for this whole ordeal. I'll have to once and for all make up my mind. After all, I have no idea of knowing what the other team is up to. I wasn't really thinking much of it last time, since that was the first time I've seen it myself. But the way he positioned himself there was the exact same, wasn't it? I mean, I guess so. Same for his first speech, the one I didn't get to see? Yeah, what exactly do you mean? Well, the way he was just rigidly standing there, staring straight at the wall that's separating us from the question team, never bothering to look at either of us. Anamnesis. Yes, I've heard the term anamnesis. I'm guessing that the title of this game, Anamnesia, is just a made-up word combining anamnesis and amnesia. What exactly is anamnesis? I only know it from Tales of Symphonia. One of the toughest hidden dungeons is the Forbidden Anamnesis. I feel like it isn't actually called that in-game, but it was in the player's guide. I'm sure it is somewhere in the game, but... Cold. Now I'm thinking maybe I need to head onwards to play the second AI game. Nirvana Initiative. I was planning on playing that once I'm done with this. I don't want to be doing multiple VNs at once. This is starting to feel more like just a, what's the word, kinetic novel? Direct transfer. That does sound useful. Yeah. Okay. So, we're finally going to find out more about Amelia. Maybe also Sophie. like Adrian. He's like just. He's too passive. I mean, I think I like her attitude. Yeah, like I said, I mean, normally I'd be shipping these characters. Now I'm regretting not really making friends in college. I mean, I tried the first time, but after that, after I left, after like not even a month, when I went back, I just... didn't try, you know? Oh. So that's the opening. I think I understand why I dislike Adrian so much. He reminds me too much of the side of myself that I dislike. How do people do it? I don't even necessarily mean like back in university or something. I mean like I honestly don't think I would really have that much of a problem in a social situation now. But where the hell am I going to find a social situation? Like, I missed my chance. In school was the time to do it. And I didn't. Is that even true? I did. It wasn't often, but I did. And I was awkward, but I did. In high school, I did. In college, I really didn't. I mean, well, the first 2 years after the 1 month failed experiment, I did 2 years as a commuter. But when I got back, I basically kept to myself up until my 21st birthday. But because I was a grade skipper, my 21st birthday was a month and a half before graduation. 21st birthday, of course, being when I could legally drink, because I'm such a goody-goody that I wasn't going to engage in underage drinking. Yeah, it is that simple, but outside of when I'm working, I don't get into situations where I'm near people. I have to change that. I don't know how, but I have to change that. Okay, yeah. Avery. Hmm. I don't like this game. It's making me think of too many things. math major on its own does not really get you much of anything. If I had kept up the double major in math and comp sci, I might be better off, but, well, 16-year-old me was immature. That's why I only lasted a month. Oh, that just takes you directly to the save. Okay, save and load. Yeah. Yeah, that's what my problem was. I was scared. I've always... No, not always. I always think of myself as having been that shy ever since, I don't know, since I started high school or shortly thereafter, but that's not true. When I go back and actually, like, when I go back through my own memory log, I realize that I wasn't that reserved. I mean, I was, like, occasionally a little scared in high school, but for the most part, because that I had to leave college after just 1 month. I think that experience affected me a lot more deeply than I ever realized. Wow. I want to find a good place for stopping this, but I just want to stop. I just have to stop. I'll talk to you another time. Well, of course that happens.